Subterror has returned after 6 years to be the best control deck in Duel Links. A plethora of strong new cards and an amazing new skill make this deck relevant again. Hello, I hope you are having a perfectly balanced day. I'm excited to cover one of my favourite control decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Today's video will show you how to build Subterror in Duel Links and how to play it as well. I've also won regionals in the TCG with Subterror, or also known as Guru Control. Speaking of TCG, if you are trying to become a pro at the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, I'm now on Metafy, where there is a bunch of exclusive content to help you become a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG player. I'm also in these other places if you want to come and say hi or ask any particular questions. There is now also a second channel for my non-Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff, and there is a VOD channel for all of the livestream stuff that I do. And to get notified on YouTube videos here, consider pressing the big red button and drop a comment down below. But with no further ado, enjoy! Subterror Guru has a flip effect to search another Subterror card, and a Book of Moon effect that becomes quick play whenever you have another Subterror card on the field. Nt'ss is a searchable negation for anything that has a useful on-field effect as well. And Umastrix is the big boss monster that clears up the opponent's board by banishing it. We can summon Umastrix from deck with our skill, which we will get to in a moment. Final Battle has 4 useful effects. Is not hard once per turn, so if you have more than one of it, you can use multiple, and it goes back face down after being used. The Archer you don't have to play, but I think the deck should either play 3 Nt'ss or Archer to help with the grind game. Whichever you choose, whether it be 3rd Nt'ss or Archer, is completely up to preference. You can play both 3 Nt'ss and Archer, but I want to keep this deck at 20 cards. Then, Hidden City is the field spell that searches for any Subterror monster, in addition to flipping up a monster. This is how we flip Guru up on our first turn to search for Nt'ss or Final Battle, which now brings us to the skill. Using this skill, you can reveal Guru to set Final Battle or Hidden City from your deck or your hand. But when you can set from deck, why would you choose to set from your hand? If you choose to set it from your hand, you not only draw a card, but if you go second and your opponent has a monster, you can then set Umastrix from your hand or deck, which then means that going second, you can start your turn with Umastrix and Final Battle, which is insane into a lot of boards because then both of these can be flipped up at the same turn. It gets even better because setting that Umastrix from deck does not count as special summoning, which means that we get to play one of the best consistency cards in the game, which is Pot of Duality. This helps a lot with consistency and finding tech cards. Droplet in particular is looking to be strong into the new meta, especially if Dinosaur becomes good, since Droplet will bypass the negation of Lagia. For the limited cards, your best choices are between Terraforming or Super Poly. I prefer Terraforming because you can use it to search for either City or for Necro Valley. Furthermore, if you choose to play Terraforming over Super Poly, you only have to play 2 City, which means that you can then play another limited free card like Needle Sealing. This card is insane in this deck because your face down monsters do not get destroyed, and even though it is only 1 card in your deck, you can sometimes just grab it off of Duality. The extra deck does not matter at all unless you are choosing to use Super Poly. The gameplay today will show you how this deck works going first, twice, and then 1 game to show how it works going second. For this first replay, we're going to showcase how to play the hero matchup. And as mentioned, these first 2 are going to be us going first, and then the 3rd replay is going to be us going second.
Duel.
Gonna begin by City to add Guru, and then do the skill to set Final Battle from the deck. And then very simply, City, flip up Guru, and add Nt'ss. The 1 card combo that this deck has isn't too complicated, but what I'm going to do here is do Final Battle to flip Guru face down. Now, in most matchups, you normally would not do this because you want that Guru face up at the start of their turn to use the effect of Nt'ss. but the difference in this matchup is that if we leave that Guru face up, it will get fused away by the super polymerization. So we're going to be a bit more conservative in this matchup in keeping that Guru face down. Go through Sunrise, Liquids, to add Miracle Fusion, and Equal. Now, we were quite fortunate here to open the ceiling, or I guess we also could have got it off of Duality if we drew that as well. But generally, I think in this matchup, you don't need to blow them out. You can just kind of play it a bit slower with Umastrix, because Umastrix does eat this deck alive. Now, what we're going to do on the summon of the Rainbow Neos is use Final Battle to flip the Guru face up, and then use Guru to search. Just grab an Umastrix here. And the reason to do this is so we have Fiendus to negate the Rainbow Neos. Now, you don't have to do this to negate the Rainbow Neos, because you can also just go Droplet and send this to negate, but I think I would rather just use the Fiendus and then keep the Droplet for something else if I need to. So we Fiendus for Neos, flip it down, and you can also summon Umastrix on Resolution to Fiendus, but I chose not to because Umastrix has to come in face up, so it would have been destroyed by the Needle. And now we have to have our toggle on to do this, because at the start of battle phase we're going to flip up Needle to destroy Sunrise. It's important to have your toggle set to on to do the Needle at the start of a battle phase here. The reason for that is because we want this first attack to be with Rainbow Neos, so that we can negate it with Hidden City. Then we draw for turn, flip down, summon from hand, search Fiendus, flip down Umastrix, flip up Umastrix, banish for Neos, normal summon Archer and go battle phase. I'd be a bit cheeky here and I use this, but didn't actually need to do that. It's actually a bit smarter to do this on like your third attack to play around Kiteroid, but it doesn't really make a big difference. You can't game them here anyway through Kiteroid. Then we pass back. Go contact back to the Armed Dragon. Add the Poly. Flip up the Armed Dragon. I make a minor misclick here. What I meant to do is go Guru target these two, but I targeted these two by accident. That's perfectly fine. In fact, it makes almost equal difference because all that happens is they pop the Archer, and then Archer can just float anyway into another Guru. And from this point, we are way too far ahead in card advantage. Once Guru control gets ahead in advantage, it's really hard to lose as long as you play it correctly. And there we go, that is an example of how to win the hero matchup when you go first. For this second replay, we have a bit more of a generic matchup into Time Thief to showcase how the deck just normally plays going first. Because as mentioned, you want to flip down that Guru face down going first against Hero to play on Super Poly, but against every other matchup you want to keep that Guru face up so that you can negate immediately with Fiendus. Although I suppose the other exception would be against Predaplant, so they can't put that counter onto Guru to tribute it. So they go add, summon, they go normal summon Time Thief Regulator, and currently, at this point in time, the Book of Moon effect of Guru is not a quick effect. So what I'm going to do here is activate Final Battle. So right now, while this is active and being face up, this Book of Moon effect is now spell speed 2. We can go ahead and chain this to Final Battle, look him face down, but go chain a spell. That's perfectly fine. They summon from hand. They go to search, and we chain the other trap to flip it face up. So now we have the Fiendus online. We can add a Umastrix to our hand here. So now if they do have another extension, I don't think they actually can extend in Time Thief after that, then we could have used Fiendus to negate the extension play, and then summon the Umastrix from my hand as well. So now we're going to go Guru, flip down, summon Umastrix, flip down, flip up, banish, and Archer's going to be pretty good here too, because Archer can now spin back that set monster. We go battle phase, spin it back, attack, we go negate, because even if that last card is, say, Mirror Force or something, we can just dodge it with our final battles. And then in the damage step we're going to make our Umastrix become really big to get that one-shot kill. And that's an example of how this deck can snowball advantage really easily when it goes first. So for the third replay, we're going to showcase how you can win going second. So the key to winning with this deck going second is the skill. The skill is amazing because it does a pretty insane thing that makes the rest of your deck function exceptionally well when you're playing into a board. And even though Phantom Knight isn't the strongest deck in the world, I think it makes a good enough board to be able to demonstrate how this deck can play into a board from the more competitive decks. And that is true even if you draw a hand of all engine cards like we have done here. Of course, assuming one of those engine cards is either Terraforming, City, or Final Battle, but you can also have Duality to find either Battle or City. Because we're going to want to be setting either the Battle or the City from our hand to then get that bonus effect of a skill. Now in the end phase here they do the effect of Alchemic Magician to set a spell from their deck, and I was pretty scared here that they would set Mistaken Arrest from their deck. Perhaps that could be a thing to try out in this deck, because Mistaken Arrest could definitely be very scary into a lot of the popular decks if you can essentially search it in the end phase. But Arrest wouldn't actually matter here because we hard drew the battle anyway. Regardless though, we're going to now activate the skill to reveal Guru, set Battle from the hand, and because we set it from the hand, we can draw a card and then also set Umastrix from the deck, and both of these cards can be flipped up this turn, which is huge because not only do we still have 5 cards in our hand, but this Umastrix plus Battle works really well into almost every single board that you will come across, especially if you have a Fiendess in your hand behind it. Because we go flip up, target, they go chain to try and rank up, we go, no sorry, chain Fiendess, they go, well they could have gotten chain Droplet, and if they send anything apart from a trap for Droplet, we can just go chain Battle and declare the 4th effect to make our monsters immune from Droplet. And now we can see that we have traded into their board so well with just effectively 1 card, thanks to our skill. Because we only had to use that Fiendess, and we also gained an Umastrix and a Final Battle. And we've essentially set up our entire board. We don't have to do anything here, let them exceed. And on the summon we can go Battle to flip up the Umastrix, and go effect to target the Breaksword. They're going to then chain Droplet to that, and then we go chain the other Battle to declare the 4th effect, to make it so that none of these can have their effects negated this turn. And there we go, that is an example of how this deck can do really well going second, thanks to its very powerful skill. Thank you all for watching, hopefully you enjoyed this video and or found it useful. Subscribe to catch more videos for Duel Links, the TCG and Master Duel. Have a perfectly balanced rest of your day, and adios.